When I was in New York, when I was not a religious person, I was a Muslim, not a religious person. When I first got exposed to Islam, the thing about New York is it's a crazy place. Every masjid has its own Islam. Literally, every masjid has its own Islam. You know, كُلُّ حِزْبٍ بِمَا لَدَيْهِمْ فَرِحُونَ. This is actually, I saw it in New York. Every group believes they are the right one, and they will give you a lot of khutbah and a lot of lectures about how wrong the next door neighbor is. And then when you go to that one, they will tell you how perfect they are and how evil those guys are. And I have a problem that I like to go, when I learn something, I like to really learn it. So I go to group number 1 and I learn so much from them that I become part of them. And then I say, okay, I've learned enough. Now I'm going to go to group number 2 and I'm going to learn so much from them, I'll become part of them. I know it's crazy, but I did that. So I went from one group to another group, to another group, to another group. I was a tourist. Okay? And when I was done, I realized something. Every group decides one thing is the most important thing. And their entire picture of Islam is based on that one concept. One group says the most important thing is da'wah. Forget everything else. Another group says the most important thing is how you look. You should look a certain way. If you don't look like this, then you're not a good Muslim. Another group says, no, you have to have these books. If you don't go through these books, then you're not a good Muslim. You don't really know your Islam. And they're not talking about Quran, by the way. There are other secondary books. If you don't have those books, then you're not a real Muslim. Every group has certain curriculum. That's what defines their Islam. And not a single group said, you know, the curriculum for the Muslim should be what? The Book of Allah. وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. By the way, did every one of those groups quote something from the Quran? Yes, but that was only to justify their position. And that was only to prove that the other guys are going to hell. That was the only reason. Why would Allah give us this book and say, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ? Why? This book, if you give it justice, it will cause union. And if you don't give it justice, it will cause division. We're not holding on the way we're supposed to. I'll tell you, to make that last point that I just made, which was that we have to think beyond groups. We have to think of ourselves as Muslims. We have to think of ourselves as Muslims. And we have to bring normalcy back to the ummah. The only way to do it is, again, putting the Book of Allah in its place, in its proper place. I'll tell you a small story. I was giving a lecture in Birmingham, England. And if you've been to Birmingham, England, make istighfar. But anyway, I was giving a lecture in Birmingham, England, and Birmingham is a very interesting place. There's a few masajid there, and every masjid is very different from every other masjid. These people hate each other's guts. The only time they agree with each other is when they have to get a halal burger. Other than that, they do not like to see each other's face. They completely hate one another. They're different schools of thought. I'm not here to name names. I know their names, the group names, but I don't care. I think that is so useless that I don't even pull it out of my mouth. That's why I don't name those groups. Khair. So there was about 2,000 people in the audience. 1,000 to 2,000 people in the audience. And I was explaining one of the stories from the Quran. And a young man and a woman came up to me. Ustad Nouman, can we talk to you for a second? I said, yeah. We are actually Baha'i. We're Baha'i. Baha'is believe in some really out there stuff. But they still consider themselves Muslims. We're Baha'i, and we really love listening to your lectures. It helped us change a lot. We didn't know the Quran says these things. We wanted to come here, but we're really scared. Because if people find out here who we are, I think there's going to be a problem. And we brought 20 of our friends here too. But we just want you to know quietly that we appreciate what you're doing. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And I'm really happy you're here. I'm done with that conversation. And the guy comes up, brother, I know this is a Sunni program, but I'm Shia. Is that okay? I was like, yeah, it's okay. Okay. Because my Shia friends and I will listen to your lectures. I was like, that's cool. Keep it up. Very nice. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, I won't tell anybody. I got it. I have had Christians come up to me and tell me, we've been watching your videos. I was in Canada. I was at an RIS convention. A group of Canadian women came up to me. Nouman Ali can, right? I was like, yeah. We're a group of Christian women. We've been studying the Quran for the last year with you. And we only came to this convention because we wanted to thank you. It's helped us change a lot. Christian women studying the Book of Allah. May Allah guide them. You know, if I was still wearing my group labels, those stickers from New York, as soon as I saw a Baha'i, I was like, hey, come here, let me talk to you, fix you. If I saw Christians, I would go straight after Jesus. If I saw the Shia, I would go straight after their aqaid and the ikhtilafat. I would attack them right away. I would do that. But you know what? I understand something from the Book of Allah. We are supposed to be farmers. We are supposed to be what? Farmers. A farmer puts a seed in the ground. Then he puts water on top. Then he makes dua to Allah. Then he puts water on top. Then he cleans the soil. Then he puts the water on top. Then he makes dua to Allah. Then he removes the insects. Then he puts the water on top. Then he makes dua to Allah. And for months and months and months and months and months, he sees nothing. He sees nothing because the seed is where? Under the ground. And he doesn't get angry. Hey, why aren't you growing? Let me pull it out. That is not how things grow. You have to let things grow. All you have to do is provide the water. And Allah's responsibility, I don't grow a plant. Allah grows the plants. Allah grows the... Why did He give us this analogy? You have to spread the Book of Allah and Allah will make the changes. You just have to spread the Book of Allah. You're not responsible to change people. لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. You're not in charge. Stop pretending that you're in charge. So many people come up to me, brother, mashallah, you give some good da'wah. Tell me how I can tell my brother to start praying. Tell me what I can tell him. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Because maybe you haven't put enough water, not put enough water yet. And maybe you're putting water, but some plants grow slowly and some plants grow quickly. It's not about what you say. It's how patient you are with people.